Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results and WWE main event. Birthdays on the 21st of January. Murray's turned 35 years old, while Hall of Famer Ivan Putski turned 77. Also would have been the 93rd birthday of Hall of Famer Arnold Scotland and the 83rd birthday of former WWE President Jack Tunney. On TV, that is. And January 22nd, Tully Blanchard. He was born 1954. Nia Jackson, Raw Women's Champion, and Alexa Bliss will be appearing on Monday's episode of the Steve Harvey Show, which airs in syndication. And I got some photos and a quick clip from Thursday's taping at this link here for you. And Nia tweeted at Nia Jackson WWE ready to go on at I Am Steve Harvey Show at Alexa Bliss _WWE. She tweeted again, thank you so much at I Am Steve Harvey at Alexa Bliss _WWE. And I had a blast with you today as they taped it last Thursday. WWE confirmed this week that Bill Goldberg will be headlining the 2018 Hall of Fame ceremony this year in New Orleans. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that Paul Heyman is currently the one planned to induct him into the Hall of Fame. On a related note, the Observer reports that WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart is hoping that the Hart Foundation will be inducted into the Hall, mainly just so Jim the Anvil Neidhart will be honored, as he's currently battling significant health issues. Apparently there is concern that if the induction doesn't come now, Neidhart may not be able to enjoy it and perform in front of the crowd. It was also noted that the induction would mean a lot to the father of Natalya at this stage of his life. Bret and Jim previously teamed as the Hart Foundation, but the group later had a run with Bret, Neidhart, Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, and the British Bulldog as other members. Other rumor names for this year's induction ceremony include the Dudley Boys, Ivory, the late Bam Bam Bigelow, plus Kid Rock going into the celebrity wing. Those names have not been confirmed, but there's been speculation on WWE possibly announcing that the Dudleys in the next few weeks, perhaps at the Raw 25th, later on in the show, as they are appearing live. 2018 Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place on Friday, April 6th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Still no word yet on a breakfast or a broadcast for the USA Network, but the ceremony will air on the WWE Network in its entirety. WWE Intercontinental Champion Roman Reigns was recently implicated in a steroid ring, along with actors Mark Wahlberg, Josh Duhamel, by jailed steroid dealer Richard Rodriguez of Wellness, Fitness, Nutrition. Not the wellness from WWE. Rodriguez was arrested in February 2017 after his Iron Addicts gym in Miami was raided by the DEA following a year-long investigation. Reigns issued the following statement on the accusation through WWE. I've never heard of Richard Rodriguez or Wellness, Fitness, Nutrition. I learned from the mistake I made 2 years ago and paid the penalty for it. Since then, I passed 11 tests as part of WWE's independent drug testing program. Reigns was suspended in the summer of 2016 for a wellness policy violation, but it was reported that he tested positive for Adderall. TMZ reports that the law enforcement sources have confirmed that Reigns, Wahlberg, and Duhamel will not be investigated by the DEA because the agency does not target alleged buyers of illegal drugs. The agency instead focuses their resources on going after alleged kingpins like Rodriguez and other distributors, manufacturers, and or traffickers. Goldust tweeted the following to thank fans for supporting him through 25 years of Raw. At Goldust, thank you. At WWE Universe for 25 plus years. Hashtag Raw 25. Hashtag Goldust in every era. Hashtag keep stepping. And it comments again. 23 or 25 years of Raw I have spent as hashtag Goldust. You've laughed, you've cried, you've hated, and come to adore me. Very thankful that I still have a place in your hearts. Hashtag Raw 25th anniversary. Hashtag keep stepping. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag golden age. Jimmy Fallon will be appearing at Raw on the Raw 25th later on in the show after losing a lip sync battle bet to Stephanie McMahon last week. Fallon and New Day performed Boys to Men's Motown Philly while the Authority went with Metallica's Seek and Destroy. And then How Far I'll Go from Disney's Moana movie featuring The Rock. Rock and Stephanie had the following Twitter exchange over the segment. At Stephanie McMahon, hey, at The Rock, check out our boy. At Triple H now, from twerking to killing, How Far I'll Go. At Fallon tonight, lip sync battle against at Jimmy Fallon, at WWE Biggie, at True Kofi, at Zombie Awards PhD. We won. And you can go to that link for that and see the actual video. Now, The Rock tweeted back, ha, bravo, you both killed it. Power of Moana. You're welcome. Hashtag twerks and high notes. Again, you can go to that link from The Rock. From Stephanie McMahon as well. Hardy's and Carl's Jr. will be sponsoring WWE Facebook chats with Matt Hardy and Shamus over the next few days. Matt will chat with fans at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, while Shamus' chat will begin at 11 p.m. Eastern on Monday. As seen below in the tweets below at WWE, ask at Matt Hardy Brand all your questions this Sunday on the WWE Facebook page at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central. Brought to you by at Carl's Jr. and at Hardy's. Hashtag ad. Join at WWE Shamus live before hashtag Raw 25 this Monday on the Facebook page, which I'm doing the video on Tuesday, so too late. Brought to you by at Carl's Jr. and at Hardy's. Samoa Joe joined Booker T's Heated Conversations podcast to talk wrestling and also give an update on his injury that he suffered in a match against Rhino on a January 8th episode of Raw. The injury removed him from not only the WWE Mixed Match Challenge, but WWE took his name off the list of the Royal Rumble match participants. Joe said he understood the situation and is just trying to go with the flow and get back healthy. Anytime you miss, like you say, one of the big four shows, or you miss shows in general, missing these opportunities on pay-per-view is always devastating. Joe said a younger version of me would definitely be stressing out and probably making this situation a lot worse. For me right now, I know what I need to do in order to get healthy and get back. I understand the timetable. I understand what I need to do to exceed that timetable. I'm more accepting of the process because I realize it's unavoidable. So now it's really just about concentrating on just getting back and being healthy. Getting back out there in front of the people. Booker then asked Joe if he had a specific timetable to return to the ring, and Joe responded by saying that's something he has to take and wait and see an approach to each week. As of right now, it's kind of a week-to-week thing, Joe replied. With these injuries, sometimes they heal sooner, sometimes they heal later. There are going to do a little bit of an ultrasound. Check it out every week. They're going to be giving me treatments. It's not something that can be fixed surgically. It's basically a lot of time, rest, elevation, and letting it heal. It just depends on how quick it heals. Hopefully, it will be sooner than later. Obviously, we're going to be past the Rumble, but I don't know how much further past that. SmackDown Tag Team Champion Jey Uso was arrested on Sunday in Hidalgo County, Texas, for driving under the influence. He was bonded out after posting a $500 personal reconnaissance bond soon after the arrest. And you can see the mugshot for you. WWE sent the following statement on the arrest. Joshua Fatu is responsible for his own personal actions. We are investigating the matter and waiting information from local law enforcement officials. Jey is still scheduled to be at SmackDown tapings, and the Usos are still set to defend the SmackDown Tag Team titles against Shelton, Benjamin, and Chad Gable in a 2 out of 3 falls match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view on January 28th. WWE Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore has been suspended by the company after a woman accused him of raping her back in October 2017. The original report on the accusations of the information on the woman and her connection to Enzo was on Twitter. And I'll post, as WWE has a zero tolerance for matters involving sexual harassment or sexual assault. Until this matter is resolved, Eric Arndt, a.k.a. Enzo Amore, has been suspended temporarily. The date of the alleged incident is Thursday, October 19, 2017. F4W Online notes that the woman filed a report with the Phoenix Police Department on the alleged incident, and the case is still under investigation. Hope to have more details from the police report soon. Update, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Dave Meltzer reported that the Phoenix Police confirmed that on Monday, October 23rd, 2017 at around 2:30 p.m., Phoenix Police responded to a local hospital for a call of sexual assault that had been reported occurred on October 19, 2017 at 401 West Clarendon Avenue. A woman on Twitter, username at Miss Gucci Witch, claimed on Twitter that she was raped by Enzo Amore last October. And this was just done on Monday. That she was raped last October. She wrote, Miss Gucci Witch, okay, it's been long enough and I have been so scared to share this. I was raped in mid-October by the WWE Enzo Amore, also known as Eric Arden, along with Tyler Grosso and Too Poor on usernames on Twitter. Let it happen. As accomplices, I was in a mental hospital for 45 days after it. They are not good people. Show you a picture of all of that and a link for all that for you. Hall of Famer Ric Flair announced today that wrestling podcast host Conrad Thompson is engaged to be married to his daughter Megan. Nature Boy tweeted, Ric Flair, Nature Boy, show you a picture of that as well. I want to announce the engagement of my beautiful daughter Megan to my good friend Conrad Thompson. My heart is full of love and happiness for both of you. So proud and honored to walk my little girl down the aisle. And he is a wrestling podcaster. WWE taped the following matches from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn for this week's main event episode. By the way, Raw is a 2-event center show for this week. Goldust defeated Kurt Hawkins. Kalisto and Grand Metallic defeated TJP and Jack Gallagher. Raw 25th Anniversary Pre-Show opened up from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn as Renee Young welcomes us. She's joined in by David Otunga and Peter Rosenberg. They talked about spending their Monday nights watching Raw before Renee sends us to the Manhattan Center Grand Ballroom with WWE Hall of Famers JR and Jerry King Lawler. The crowd is going wild as the King and good old JR are at ringside. Manhattan Center is set up with a retro set. Lawler talks about memories of the Grand Ballroom balcony as the Big 25 chant breaks out. Ross sends us back to Brooklyn. Charlie Caruso is backstage with JBL and Hall of Famer Ron Simmons with the APA. Of course, they're playing poker. They reminisce and agreed to bring back the APA for one night only to teach these punk kids a lesson. We go back to the panel and Renee plugs the Royal Rumble. Back for the break, we got Sam Roberts is outside of the Barclays Center with a bunch of hyped up fans. Sam talks about watching Raw as a kid in tonight's show. He also shows us a classic clip of WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin as a big what chant breaks out from the crowd. Renee and the panel discussed various awesome moments from Raw. We see a Twitter video of Miz and Maurice arriving from earlier. Miz announced his Royal Rumble spot and cut a promo on WWE Intercontinental Champion Roman Reigns ahead of tonight's match. We get another break and more classic moments. We come back and we get Eric Bischoff has joined in on the panel. Oh, by the way, he was on the pre-show. He commented on the passion and excitement of Raw and says he's grateful to be here. Bischoff also talks about when he debuted on Raw and became general manager. Bischoff says he felt at home pretty quickly. Brett also talked about his relationship with Vince McMahon and says he knew within 3 minutes of their first phone call that he was excited to work for the man. Renee sends us to another break. We see Bayley's Twitter video from backstage with Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. Then we go back to the panel. Renee announces 8 women in action for tonight. Asuka, Sasha Banks, Bayley and Mickie James versus Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Nia Jackson, and Alicia Fox. Renee sends us to another classic moment. Of course, Paige is not there tonight because she's got a neck injury. Looking at WWE Hall of Famers, Trish and Lita made eventing Raws from years ago. We go back to the King and JR at the Manhattan Center as fans bring back the Burger King chant for Lawler. Raw sends us to a clip of The Undertaker's entrance and match on the very first Raw. A win over Damien Demento. The video also looks at Taker's career leading up to his return at Raw 25 tonight. They talk about Taker. Send us back to Brooklyn for more discussion on the Dead Man. Renee advertises free agent John Cena appearing tonight, along with Blue Brand superstars, WWE Champion AJ Styles, SmackDown's Women's Champion Charlotte, and the New Day. She also shows us a Twitter video from the New Day. We hear a dueling chant for Cena and Renee speaks on Brooklyn. She shows the Instagram post from WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart apologizing for not being able to make the show. We also see other Raw 25 related social media posts. Renee leads us to a video package looking at Chris Jericho's Raw career. We get another look at Sam outside of the Barclays Center and more classic moments. Renee and the panel talk about their favorite stables from over the years. The panel goes over the Royal Rumble card. After more discussion of tonight's show, Renee confirms that Kane, Braun Strowman, Paul Heyman, and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar will be here tonight. We get a look at the New Day, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon from the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. A few nights ago, Fallon will be at Raw tonight. Of course, he's in the crowd. Stephanie is behind Renee, and the panel talking to the crowd as they prepare to kick off tonight's broadcast. Renee thanks everyone, and that's the pre-show. Raw 25th Anniversary Show opens up from the Manhattan Center Grand Ballroom in New York City. with the WWF Hall of Famers JR and Jerry the King Lawler. They welcome us and across town to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Michael Coleslaw welcomes us. He's at ringside for one night only with Corey Graves and WWF Hall of Famer Booker T. We go right to the ring as JoJo introduces Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon and SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. Stephanie and Shane welcomes the hot crowd. Shane talks about how big 25 years is and thanks everyone on behalf of the McMahon family. He also thanks the unsung heroes that are behind the scenes. He goes on and thanks the fans for making Raw a success again. Shane leads us to a video package showing various Raw moments from over the years. We come back and Stephanie thanks everyone again. She says it's an honor to introduce the one person that made it all possible, their father, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. The No Chance music hits, and out comes Vince McMahon to a big pop from the crowd. Vince jumps up and down a bit to get the crowd hyped as he enters the ring, commenting on how the pop feels good after all those years. Vince thinks they're all about to do the what chant again. But Stephanie says she knows he's hard of hearing right now, and they're actually chanting, "Thank you, Vince," at him. Vince comments on smelling the roses and goes to leave after telling everyone to enjoy the show. Stephanie stops him and says they have a gift for him. It's not only from she and Shane, the people at both arenas tonight. It's from everyone, as she and Shane started a GoFundMe account to have paid for this, as she joked. She unveiled a commemorative Raw 25 plaque for Vince. It's beautiful, it's mahogany, it's a plaque, says Vince. Vince says it feels a little cheap. Stephanie says the GoFundMe didn't raise that much. Vince says it feels cheap, but then again, where we are in Brooklyn, crowd boos him. Vince wants to get this straight. The people all pitch in to get him something, and they get him a plaque. A yes chant breaks up in the crowd. Vince says plaque is what each and every one of the fans have on their teeth. What's clogging their arteries from sucking down Nathan's hot dogs. Vince can't believe that they give him a plaque after 25 years of doing for them. Vince says everyone is out here thanking everyone else, but he's only got one person to thank, and it's not his family or people in the production truck. A loud a-hole chant breaks out from the crowd. Vince says the only person to thank is him because he did all this by himself. He didn't need anyone else, just himself. The glass suddenly breaks out, and out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin to a huge pop. Fans are going wild for Stone Cold. Vince tells them not to encourage Austin. Vince says he sees the look in Austin's eyes. Vince goes on, but the what chant starts up for the crowd. Vince says Austin looks great, but Mother Nature hasn't been kind to him. Vince says he's now a member of the AARP, as he has heart problems, specifically a murmur that won't go away. Vince says he has arthritis and his bones are very brittle these days. He even lives in a retirement home now. Vince says times have changed and he's now a senior citizen. But Shane is in his prime, Vince says. Vince goes on about how Shane flies across the ring and says he's in his prime. Austin raises Shane's arm to a pop. Austin turns around and drops Shane with a stutter. His fans go wild. Austin's music hits it again and he drops down in Shane's face like only the rattlesnake can. Austin's music stops and he turns to Vince, who is holding 2 beers. Vince says he doesn't blame Austin, but this is for old time's sake. Fans chant one more time. And Vince says he doesn't think Shane can take one more time. Vince hands Austin one of the beers. They knock beers and tip them back. But Vince stops and starts hugging Stone Cold in the middle of the ring. Vince raises Austin's arm in the beer. As Austin's music plays, Austin salutes Vince again, and they embrace again. Vince goes to leave, and the music stops. Vince stops in his tracks. Vince stops and turns Austin pleading with him. Austin knocks the beers again, and they take a chug. Austin gives Vince the middle finger, salute, and lays them out with his tongue. Austin celebrates as he calls for more beers. As his music hits, Coleslaw shows us a replay as the celebration continues. Still to come segment. Kane, Braun Strowman, and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar will be here. Also, Roman Reigns defends against The Miz. Undertaker also returns. Up next, 8 women action with Asuka, Sasha, Becky, Bayley versus Mandy, Sonya, Nia, and Alicia. We see Stone Cold celebrate with the beers on the stage as we cut to commercial. And your 8 women match is up next. Back from the ring, out comes Nia with Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Alicia Fox waiting in the ring. Paige is at ringside. Sasha Banks is out first for her team, followed by Bayley. Becky was out next, and out comes last Asuka. They head to the ring together. Nia drops Asuka and unloads on her as the big brawl breaks out before the bell can even ring. Mandy stomps away on Becky in the corner as the referee tries to restore order. Sonya starts things off with Asuka as the referee asks Asuka if she can go. Sonya attacks, but Asuka fights back. Asuka ends up dropping Sonya and kicking her while she's on her knees. Deville goes to the floor and Paige consoles her as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Asuka goes at it with Mandy. Asuka gets the upper hand and knocks some of the others off the apron. Asuka unloads on Rose until Nia tags in, as does Sasha. Sasha ducks Nia and goes to work on her. Trying to stagger her, Sasha with a drop kick and a running strike for a 2 count. Nia catches Sasha and drives her to the mat. Nia takes her time and covers for a 2 count. Rose tags back in and stomps away on Sasha in the corner. Deville tags back in as they keep Banks down in the corner. Fox comes in off of a quick tag. Fox with a Northern-like suplex for a 2 count. Fox stops Banks from tagging and keeps her grounded in the middle of the ring. Fox gets a 2 count while keeping Sasha down in the middle of the ring. Sasha fights up and out before Fox drops her. Fox can't get the pin, but she keeps control of Banks. Banks fights back again, but Fox slams her by her hair. Asuka tags in as Mickey also comes in to argue. Back to commercial. Back for the ring, the brawl breaks out at ringside. Banks ends up dropping Fox in the ring with a backstabber and delivers the backstabber for the pinfall win. After the match, winners join Sasha in the ring as the music hits. Asuka turns and dumps Mickey over the top rope. She fights off Banks and Bayley, sending Bayley over the top rope. Asuka then goes after Sasha, gets control and dumps Banks over the top rope. Asuka music hits and she stands tall. Like they had a team rumble. Raw General Manager Kurt Angle backstage with a referee. He can't afford having chaos with Kane, Braun Strowman, and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar tonight. Jonathan Coachman comes in and talks to Angle. Harvey Wippleman joins in, along with Brooklyn Brawler next. Then we get Holla Holla from Teddy Long as he walks in and dances some. And we get Brother Love, a.k.a. Bruce Pritchard from TNA. And finally, Boogeyman creeps in. Of course, he's eating worms. Still to come, Undertaker's back. We go to commercial. Back from the break, we go to the Manhattan Center. JR the King sends us to a video package on the Undertaker's career. The bell tolls inside the Manhattan Center as the Undertaker makes his way out. We get a holy shit chant starting up from the crowd. WWE Hall of Famer Howard Finkel does the introductions for Taker. Taker says the carnage began on this sacred ground 25 years ago. For 25 years, he's been digging holes, and anyone who got on the dark side got buried. Taker says he's ripped legends off their pedestals and thrown them into the cold, dark earth for 25 years. Taker then names some of the greats who tried, but says they all failed. Taker goes on and declares on this sacred ground that it is truly time for those who have fallen to rest in peace. Taker's music hits and he leaves. Still to come, Roman Reigns defends. Back to commercial. Back for the break, we get APA playing cards with Heath Slater and Rhino. Then we get Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase walking in with his $1 million belt and throws a wad of cash on the table, asking what their price is. The $1 million man takes a seat at the table and joins the game. We go to the ring and we get JoJo introducing some of the great Raw general managers from over the years. John Laurinaitis' People Power was announced. General Manager William Regal was shown. And we get Eric Bischoff. She also introduces SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan, who joins the others on the stage. Miz's music hits and out he comes with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Miz stops and stares down Bryan in his face. Miz heads to the ring in a Continental title match. Miz versus Roman Reigns. Miz hits the ring and walks around as the fans start booing. Boos pick up as the music hits for Reigns. Out comes the Intercontinental Champion. Former ring introductions from JoJo as the bell rings. They lock up. Reigns shoves Miz right to the mat. Miz goes to the floor, but Reigns tries to pull him back in. Reigns ends up dropping Miz with a big right hand as he comes back in. Reigns leaves the ring for a drive-by kick, but Dallas gets in the way and runs his mouth. Reigns drops Dallas. Miz goes after Reigns, but also eats the right hand. Reigns brings Miz back in and tries to follow, but Axel stops him while Miz distracts the referee. Miz takes advantage of the distraction and goes to work on Reigns. Miz launches Reigns into the steel steps and takes control as we go to commercial. Back for the break, Miz charges at Reigns, but Reigns runs over him with clotheslines. Reigns with a big right hand off the ropes. Reigns then unloads in the corner and looks out at Axel to warn him. Reigns ends up hitting a drive-by on Miz. Reigns rolls Miz back in and takes another look at Miztourage. Reigns comes in and charges, but Miz moves and Reigns hits the ring post. Miz uses ropes for leverage and rolls Reigns up for a 2 count. Miz unloads with a yes kicks, but Reigns blocks a shot and nails a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count. Reigns ends up on the floor and takes out the Miztourage. Reigns sends Dallas into the ring and goes back to Axel, throwing him over the barrier. Miz takes advantage and turns it around on Reigns, bringing him back into the ring. Reigns blocks the skull-crushing finale and hits a big Superman punch for a close 2 count. Reigns keeps control and ready for a spear as the fans boo. Dallas and Axel try to interfere again, but Miz hits a quarter clothesline. Referee sees the shenanigans and ejects the Miztourage from ringside momentarily as Miz argues with the referee. Reigns comes from behind and rolls Miz up for a 2 count. Dallas and Axel come back on the apron for a distraction after they were told to exit the arena. Miz comes from behind and nails skull-crushing finale, only gets a 2 count. Miz can't believe he did not get the pin. More back and forth. Now, Reigns charges in the corner, hits what looks like an exposed turnbuckle face first as he took off the turnbuckle while the referee wasn't watching. Miz takes advantage and nails skull-crushing finale for the pin and the win. After the break, Miz celebrates as we get a replay of the Miz taking off the turnbuckle padding while Reigns was dealing with the Miztourage on the floor. So what? We don't go to instant replay on this event like we did a couple weeks ago? Go figure. Reigns recovers as Miz, Axel, and Dallas celebrate up the ramp. Still to come segment, Lesnar, Strowman, and Kane will be here. Also, DX returns back to commercial. Back for the break, we'll see that MVP is joined in along with the Hardys, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I didn't see Matt Hardy in this segment, but I did see Jeff Hardy. Tag Team Champions Usos have also joined in. The card game in the back. Christian is in the ring for the special edition of the Peep Show. He talks about how he knows something on tag teams, and he's in a 9-tag he's been a 9-time tag team champion. He introduces Raw Tag Team Champions Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan as his guests. Rollins starts talking, but Jordan cuts him off as the man's mood. The heat is real for Jordan as he goes on and tries to give it up before his dad, Kurt Angle. Moves continue until the music hits, and out comes the Bar, Cesaro, and Shamus. Bar talks to Jordan on the way to the ring and says it's not his dad who sucks, it's Jordan. They're trying to get a "you suck" chant going at him. Jordan attacks the Bar, and Rollins helps him out with a dive to Sheamus on the floor. Jordan holds Cesaro while Rollins springboards in with a knee, but Cesaro moved and Rollins hits Jordan. The Bar leads up the ramp as the music hits. Rollins checks on Jordan as the tension between the two continues. Charlie Caruso backstage with Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. Charlie brings up the Royal Rumble and asks Bliss if she thinks that she will still be champion after WrestleMania 34. Bliss acts insulted and says she's not only a champion, she's a goddess. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair comes up and says Bliss is only champion because Flair is on the other brand. Charlotte says she doesn't think Bliss will keep the title at WrestleMania. Flair goes on to taunt Bliss until her father, Hall of Famer Ric Flair, appears and the Nature Boy gives Bliss props, but says his daughter will be champion until she decides to hang her robe up. Woo! As the Flair do a double woos to end the segment. Back to commercial. We see Natalya and Titus Worldwide having joined the card game in the back. Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt was up next. We go to the Manhattan Center with the King and JR. Bray Wyatt was out first, followed by Woken by Hardy. The bell rings and they go at it. Wyatt goes for his early Sister Abigail, but is blocked. Hardy turns it around and unloads on Bray in the corner. Hardy with a leg sweep, but a shot from the second rope. As the delete chant starts up. Well, Matt's doing the delete signs. Wyatt fights Hardy off and launches himself into him off the ropes. We go to commercial with Wyatt in control. Back from the break, Wyatt charges, but Matt fights back and takes it into the corner. Matt stabs Wyatt face first, faces the turnbuckles over and over again. Wyatt ends up turning it around after missing in the corner and turning it upside down. It goes for the crawl. More back and forth as Matt hits a side effect for a close 2 count. Hardy calls to delete, but Wyatt counters and sends him into the ropes. Wyatt hits Sister Abigail for the pin and the win. After the match, Wyatt still tall and laughs as we cut back to Brooklyn. We go to the stage. JoJo introduces some of the great female superstars from the past. Out comes the Bella Twins, Maurice, Kelly, Lillian Garcia, WWE Hall of Famer Jacqueline, Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, Terry Runnels, Maria Kanellis, and WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus. Well, I didn't get to see this segment. My feed cut out. I had to find another link for it. They all got another pop as we return to commercial. Feed comes back and we get Elias walking up on Chris Jericho backstage as the fans pop. Jericho comments on the scarves around Elias' neck and says he wrote a song about him. Jericho asks to borrow Elias' guitar, but he says no. That's okay because Jericho has his own. Jericho sings about not wanting to walk with Elias and calls him a stupid idiot. Jericho pulls out the list and jokes about adding Elias, but then changes his mind. Not. Jericho adds Elias to the list for another pop. We get another classic moment and a look at the Empire State Building lit up red for Raw 25. It had like a face on it. With a smile. Like emoji. We go to the ring. JoJo introduces Elias, who has a spotlight and a guitar. Elias has a song he wants the WWE legends to sing, but the fans keep interrupting. Elias points out at Jimmy Fallon in the crowd and says he will show Fallon how it's done. They chant stupid idiot at him now. Elias finally starts performing his new song and take shots at everyone from The Rock to The Undertaker to John Cena and many others. Elias keeps on until the music interrupts and out comes John Cena to a loud mixed reaction. Fans start singing their own version of Cena's theme song. Cena defends Brooklyn before a loud a-hole chant starts up, apparently at Elias. Elias tells Cena to shut up, shut his dang mouth, because no one wants to hear him. They came to hear Elias, but Cena ruined it. Cena mocks Elias and tells him to do something about it. Throwing the mic down and taking off his shirt, ready for some action. Cena stands with his arms out. Elias says, "That's not how it works, John." Elias doesn't take orders from Cena or the scumbags of Brooklyn. Fans boo Elias some more. Elias goes to leave, but leaves the ring, but he stoops and turns to Cena. Cena ducks and nails a pair of shoulder tackles. Cena with his big side slam and a 5-knuckle shuffle. Elias blocks the attitude adjustment and hits a low blow in the middle of the ring. Elias brings his guitar back into the ring and smashes it over Cena as he tries to stand up. Real slow like. Some fans start chanting, "Yes!" Now as Elias looks out, standing over Cena, Elias scoops Cena and drops him again with the drift away. Elias talks some trash and stands over Cena as his music hits and we go to replay. Coleslaw, Corey Graves, Booker plugged the Royal Rumble card. We see how the New Day joined the APA card game backstage. It ends with Ron Simmons. Damn. Back for the ring, Mark Henry approaches. The actual card game had a winner, which was Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, with a straight flush. Well, back for a break, Mark Henry approaches the Hall of Famer, the Godfather, backstage. Godfather introduces a woman with him, named Olivia. Godfather talks about how Henry used to be known as Sexual Chocolate. Henry admits that this is true, but says we all grow up. Henry ends up making a quick pass at Olivia, but Godfather reveals that is his wife. Godfather says it's all good and walks off with Olivia, all smiles. Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews versus Rhino and Heath Slater. We go to the ring, out comes Titus Worldwide, as my feed goes out again. Good time for this one to go out. Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews, and Dana Brooke. Rhino, Heath Slater are out next. Rhino and Titus go at it to start. Titus takes control and tosses Rhino into the corner. Crews tags in and keeps control for his team. Slater comes in off the top as Rhino turns around. Crews turns it around on Slater. Hits a long vertical suplex after a drop kick. Dana cheers on Crews while he's in control as we go back to commercial. Back for the break, a brawl has broken out between the two teams. The referee calls the match. So I guess it's no contest. Music hit, out comes the Dudley Boys to a big pop. They hit the ring, but Titus Worldwide leaves the ring, as do Slater and Rhino. Dudley's challenged him to come back in and get some. Fan chant ECW as Bubba Ray and Devon stand tall. Fan chant for tables now. They all roll Slater into the ring and yells at them. Bubba scoops Slater and slams him. Devon goes to the top for the big diving headbutt to Slater. Bubba sends Devon to get the tables next. Slater gets up and they put him through the table with the 3D. Dudley stands tall and pose in the corner as Rhino gets on the apron to applaud them. Titus Worldwide also hits the ring to celebrate with the Dudleys. Like I said, I missed that whole segment. Didn't get to see the Dudleys on there. Charlie Crews is backstage with the WWE Champion, AJ Styles. She asks him about the handicap match at the Royal Rumble, and he cuts her off apologizing. Fans chant AJ's name in the arena. AJ introduces a special guest. He's bought for the interview. Caruso is dismissed, and AJ brings in the Hall of Famer, BG. Styles does a quick Hulk Hogan impression of Hulk Hogan impersonation and talks about how he will beat Cammy at the Royal Rumble. Still to come segment. DX will be here. He did a perfect impression of Hulk Hogan. Well, let me tell you one thing, BG. In that voice. Still to come, DX will be here. Back to commercial, back to the break. Out comes DX, Triple H, and Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels to the Manhattan Center. Fans pop big time, sing along with the entrance. DX does a bit of comedy before Triple H thanks the fans for backing them over the years. He gives shout-outs to the late WWE legends, Chyna and Rick Rude. Triple H says the Manhattan Center is home for Raw, and DX is here to declare that they will be at the forefront of the next 25 years. So let's start that right now. He does a "Are you ready?" chant and says they didn't come alone. Out comes the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg B.G. James, who tells them to cut the damn music. They do their usual intro before introducing X-Pac, Sean Waltman. Waltman hits the ring and hugs his fellow degenerates, calling on the Manhattan Center to raise hell and make some noise. Fan chat for the 1-2-3 Kid as Waltman speaks. He thanks them. He knows this is a DX reunion, but he can't have the 25th anniversary celebration without this guy right here. Reza Ramon. Music hits and out comes WWE Hall of Famer Scott Hall. We go to commercial as Hall hits to the ring. Back from the break, and Hall is in the ring with his "Hey yo." He says, you can't have a party on Raw without the bad guy. He says he's been watching from both locations tonight, and this Raw 25 thing is just too sweet. Music interrupts, and out comes the Balor Club. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Finn Balor. To a bit of mixed reaction, Balor Club faces off with DX in the middle of the ring. As they do the "Too Sweet" chant breaks out. They all meet in the air to touch the "Too Sweet." Of course, you got the Wolf Pack thing as well with each other. Gunn goes to do the "If You're Not Down With That," and the music interrupts. Out comes the Revival. Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson. They stare everyone down to enter the ring. So we get the matchup. Bullet Club versus Revival. Balor Club. The bell rings and the Revival attack Gallows and Anderson from behind. Referee restores order and calls for the bell. Wilder goes to work on Anderson, taking him to the corner. Dawson comes in and keeps on the attack. Dix and Finn Balor watch from ringside as Dawson talks some trash to Gallows and keeps control of Anderson. More double teaming of the Arrival as Dash tags back in. Dax keeps Anderson grounded. Dawson comes back in, but Anderson nails a leg lariat to finally create an opening. Another "Too Sweet" chant breaks out from the crowd as Gallows tags in with Dash, and they go at it. Gallows keeps control of Dash and tags in Anderson for a double team. They hit the Magic Killer and cover Dash for the easy win out of nowhere. After the match, DX and Balor enter the ring to give props to Gallows and Anderson. They all raise "Too Sweets" in the corner. Dawson comes over and grabs Hall, talking trash to him. Hall flicks his toothpick in Dawson's face. Waltman comes over and hits the X Factor on Dawson. Dog unloads her sights to Dawson. Gunn follows up with a famouser on Dawson. Dash takes a sweet chin music from HBK and then a pedigree from the game. Everyone chants for Finn as he goes to the top. DX points at Balor as he comes off the top with a coup de grace on Dash. Gunn does the "Suck It" line as DX celebrates with the Balor Club. JR sends us back to the Barclays Center as Kurt Angle comes out with a parade of legends at ringside. Raw and SmackDown superstars are all out to surround the ring for tonight's main event segment. Back to commercial. Back for the break, Raw General Manager Kurt Angle is in the ring to plug the Universal title match at the Rumble. The Legends and Superstars are surrounding the ring. Angle introduces Braun Strowman first, then Kane. Some of the Superstars are in the ring to keep Braun and Kane separated. Paul Heyman finally comes out to a pop. Heyman says his client isn't here for a nostalgia trip. He's here for a fight. Heyman talks about how relevant his client is and introduces him. Out comes Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Braun meets Lesnar at ringside, but Lesnar runs right over him. Lesnar enters the ring and hits Kane with an F5. Braun ends up launching Lesnar into the barrier at ringside. Kane is also down on the floor. Braun clears the announce table and puts Brock through it with a running power slam. Braun yells out, stands over Lesnar as his music hits. Braun returns to the ring and stands tall while Lesnar rolls around in pain on the outside. We get a replay of the table power slam. Braun poses in the corners while Lesnar and Kane are both down on the outside. Raw goes off the air with Braun standing tall. That ends Raw. Here's what happened after Raw ended on TV with a few photos from both segments. I'm showing you pics. There was no dark main event after Raw 25th anniversary show went off the air, but there was a special dark segment for the fans from the Manhattan Center Grand Ballroom. Dark segment which took place after Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson defeated the Revival with DX, Shawn Waltman, Hall of Famer Scott Hall, and Finn Balor ringside. Saw new Intercontinental Champion The Miz cut a promo on DX and the Balor Club. Miz has traveled from the Barclays Center to the Manhattan Center following his big title win over Roman Reigns. Miz ran down DX and the Balor Club, promising not to invite them to the Raw 30th anniversary special. Raw Tag Team Champion Seth Rollins then comes out, which calls the fans to chant Ring of Honor, ROH. Rollins cut a promo on The Miz and acknowledged winning the Ring of Honor title in the same building, saying he was proud of it. Miz then cut such a good promo that the fans turned and started cheering him on. The segment ended with Rollins hitting a blackout curb stop on Miz as a big suck it chant rang out from the crowd. Triple H then cut a promo to thank the fans. The DX theme song played to send home everyone happy. There was another dark segment that took place following the DX segment with Hall of Famer Ric Flair. Flair commented on making the mistake of returning to WCW after being at the Manhattan Center for 3 Raw shows. Then talked about how he was lucky to be back with his friends for Raw 25. He put over the members of DX, Waltman and Scott Hall, noting how Shawn gave him the best send-off in history of sports for his retirement. And that ended the show. Thanks again. Peace out. See you when I'll be here. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.